You did the work, you made the change, you took the step everyone said would fix it. New role, new environment, new habits even. And yet, somewhere underneath all of it, you still feel like you. The old you. The one you were trying to move away from. That feeling isn't weakness, it isn't ingratitude. And it definitely isn't proof that nothing has changed, it's something far more specific. And once you understand what it is, you can actually do something about it.
Here's what most people get wrong. They assume that changing circumstances changes identity. Change the job, feel like a different person. Move to a new city, become a new version of yourself. Start the business, shed the old skin. But identity doesn't work that way. Your sense of self isn't stored in your circumstances. It's stored in your nervous system, in your automatic responses, in the assumptions you make about what's possible for someone like you before you've even consciously thought about it. So when the circumstances change but the internal wiring doesn't, you end up in a strange place. New life, old feeling, and that gap between what's changed externally and what hasn't shifted internally is one of the most disorienting experiences a person can have.
Think about someone who gets promoted after years of being overlooked. The title changes, the salary changes, the responsibilities change, but in meetings, they still wait to be called on. They still over-explain their decisions. They still brace for someone to point out they don't really belong there. Nothing in the room is telling them they don't belong. The promotion is real, the authority is real, but the identity hasn't caught up.
Or think about someone who finally starts earning money on their own terms, freelancing, a side income, something they built themselves. The money is coming in. The evidence is right there. But they still feel like they're about to be found out. Still feel like it's temporary. Still feel like the kind of person who has a job, not the kind of person who builds things. The external reality shifted. The internal story didn't.
That's the gap. And here's why it's so persistent. Your brain is not trying to help you grow, your brain is trying to keep you safe. And safe, to your nervous system, means familiar. The old identity is familiar. It has years of evidence behind it. Every time you played it small, every time you deferred, every time you talked yourself out of something, that's data your brain has stored and categorized under who you are. A new job doesn't erase that data. A new city doesn't erase it. Even genuine success doesn't erase it automatically. Because the brain doesn't update its model of you based on external events, it updates based on repeated internal experience. Which means the feeling of being the old you isn't a bug. It's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do, defaulting to the most well-rehearsed version of yourself until something gives it a reason to update.
So what actually creates that update? Not achievement, not willpower, not telling yourself to stop feeling like the old version. The update happens when the new identity starts to feel normal. Not aspirational, not something you're working toward. Normal, expected, the obvious baseline, and that happens through repetition of a very specific kind. Not repeating the external behavior, repeating the internal experience of being the new version of yourself before the external evidence confirms it. This is the part most people skip. They wait for the results to come in first, and then they'll allow themselves to feel different. But the neuroscience runs the other way. You have to rehearse the feeling first. The results follow the identity shift, they don't create it. A new job doesn't erase that data. A new city doesn't erase it. Even genuine success doesn't erase it automatically. Because the brain doesn't update its model of you based on external events. It updates based on repeated internal experience. Which means the feeling of being the old you isn't a bug. It's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do, defaulting to the most well-rehearsed version of yourself until something gives it a reason to update.
Here's how to start doing that practically. Step 1. Name the identity you're still carrying. Not vaguely, specifically. I still feel like the kind of person who gets overlooked. I still feel like someone who struggles with money. I still feel like the version of me from 5 years ago who didn't know what they were doing. Name it out loud or write it down. The brain processes named things differently to unnamed things. Naming it loosens its grip. Step 2. Find one piece of evidence that doesn't fit that identity. Just one, not a list. One moment, one decision, one result that the old version of you wouldn't have produced. You're not building a case. You're introducing a crack in the wall. Step 3. Sit with the discomfort of being further along than your feelings have caught up with. That discomfort is not a sign something is wrong. It's the specific sensation of your identity updating. It feels like imposter syndrome. It feels like waiting for something to go wrong. It feels like you've somehow got away with something you shouldn't have. It's not. It's the lag between what's changed and what your nervous system has registered. Run those 3 steps for 7 days. Not to fix anything, just to start building a different kind of internal